Does anybody look cool wearing AirPods? If you were the king of the tech world, then you could force everyone to have one connector on their phone. Would it be USB-C? Would it be Lightning? Would it be micro USB? You make the call.
So easy. I would force everyone, which really only means forcing Apple, but I would force everyone to use USB Type-C on their phone.
Did you say growing up you were a Nintendo kid or a Sega kid?
Having owned neither, but having looked back, Sega.
Are you excited about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and do you feel like they did a better job delaying the movie for a year and remaking it?
Only because they did that, I'm not excited to see it.
Have you ever owned, or shall I say lived in a household that owned a rotary phone?
Yes. Yes.
How about an answering machine with a little cassette tape in it?
No.
An answering machine with a little digital recorder in it?
Yes.
Who is the heir to the Steve Jobs throne of most influential CEO?
Right now, I'd say just because of the success of the products, Elon Musk.
When is the headphone jack going extinct?
The headphone jack's going to be extinct from mobile devices in about 4 years. It'll be gone, but it's going to live on in like legacy bigger stuff. Your computers will still have it. Don't get rid of it in laptops anytime soon. I think it's just that mobile audio listening experience that's just better without wires. We can move on from that, but it's going to still live on.
How old should a kid be before they get their first phone?
Wow. So I would say your own smartphone, wait till at least 10. And I know a lot of people don't do that, but I would say 10 at least.
What's the most backwards or archaic piece of technology that you still see a lot of people using?
That's an interesting question. What's the most archaic thing? It's funny that when you drive an electric car, a lot of like regular cars seem archaic. When you're driving a regular car, it doesn't seem archaic, but as soon as you switch over, you look at like all the other car choices and you're like, wow, if there were chargers everywhere, everyone would switch. So I'm gonna go wild and say every single car.
What's the most important thing in a phone? Battery life, camera, or screen size?
Battery life.
What's the most surprising low-tech thing you do?
I completely unplug on weekends. I don't even check Twitter or Instagram when I go to another city and go play a game of Ultimate Frisbee.
The future, flexible screens or dual screens?
So if we're talking smartphones, the future is flexible screens. If we're talking bigger, like desktop type setups, for me, huge dual screen fan, so I'm gonna say dual screens for that.
Is it worth people jumping between iOS and Android in different generations to get like the best of all possible worlds, or once you pick one, are you locked in for life?
I would love to say you should definitely not stay locked in so you don't subject yourself to the whim of any crazy decision you might lock yourself into. But it's also really hard to go back and forth and not get used to one. So I'd say get a couple years in with one and then keep your eye on the other side of the fence.
Does anybody look cool wearing AirPods?
If you work for Apple and are currently wearing a uniform that implies that you do, then it looks that much cooler to have like one AirPod in, like you're getting a security related phone call. That's the one case I'll say you do.